Welcome to lecture 3.6, Finding the Equation of a Line. So in this lecture, we're going to be going over trying to find the equation of a line given that we have particular information like the slope, the intercepts, the points, a couple points of a line. So there are three types of problems here. We want to find the equation of a line when we're given the slope and the y-intercept. The second type is we want to find the equation of a line and we are given 1 point on the line and the slope of the line. And the third is finding the equation of a line given 2 points that are on the line. So let's take a look at slope-intercept form of the equation of a straight line. So here's an example. We want to find the equation of the line given the slope and the y-intercept of 1. So the slope is 3/2 and the y-intercept is 1. In other words, 0, 1 is a point on the line. The y-intercept is 0, 1, is the point 0, 1. If you remember, the slope is the vertical change over the horizontal change. So we could make up another point and just call it x comma y. And if we use our equation, y minus 1, that's our point, x minus 0, that's our other point, equals 3/2, because we know that's the slope. And if we solve that problem for y, first we're going to multiply each side by x, then we're going to add 1 to each side. Our equation will be y equals 3/2 x plus 1. But let's just do a generic problem. Let's say the y-intercept just equals b. Then it's going to be y minus b all over x minus 0. That's our slope. That equals m. We solve it for y. We get multiply each side by x, then we add b to both sides. We end up getting y equals mx plus b. This is our slope-intercept form. Why do we call it that? Because it will immediately let me know what the slope is, that's m, and it will immediately let me know what the y-intercept is, which is b. It's just right out there for the whole world to see. So here's our property. Slope-intercept form of the equation of a line is the equation of the line with the slope m, the y-intercept of b, and it is always given by y equals mx plus b. So let's take a look at example. Find the equation of the line with the slope of -4/3 and the y-intercept of 5. If you remember, our y equals mx plus b will be our equation. So we just need to plug in. Our slope is -4/3. Our y is where our y-intercept is b, but in this case, b is 5. Plug it in. Y equals mx plus b. M is -4/3, and b is positive 5. So if I had 0, 5 as my y-intercept, I go down 4 because it is negative, and I run to the right 3. So another point that's on the line is 3, 1. Connect the dots, connect the points, and I have my line. Let's try another example. Find the slope and the y-intercept for -2x plus y equals -4, and then we want a graph. Now, to find the slope and the y-intercept, I don't want to do a lot of math. So I want to get it into where it looks like y equals mx plus b. So to do that, I'm going to start manipulating my original equation. So first I'm going to add 2x to both sides. Y equals 2x plus 4. Well, that is in the y equals mx plus b format. So I know my slope is 2, and my y-intercept is -4. So using that information, I plot 0, negative 4. Using my slope, remember, a positive 2 is really 2 over 1. So I'm going to go up 2 and 1 over. And my next point will be 1, negative 2. So remember, I went up 2 and 1 over. Should be a 1. Let's try this example and work through it together. So let's find the slope and the y-intercept for 3x minus 2y equals 6. So if 3x minus 2y equals 6, again, I want to get this into the form of y equals mx plus b, so I want to solve for y. So the first step I want to do is subtract 3x from both sides. I'm left with negative 2y equals negative 3x plus 6. Now I'm going to divide everyone by negative 2, divide by negative 2, and divide by negative 2. Y will equal, well, a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So I have a positive 3/2 x. Positive 6 divided by negative 2 is a negative 3. So now that it's in my correct form, or my point-intercept format, I can immediately plot the y-intercept at negative 3. And using my slope, I'm going to go up 3 because it's 3/2. 1, 2, 3, and over 2, 1, 2. And my next point, so my first point is at 0, negative 3. My second point happens to be 0, 2. Connect my points. And there's my line. But remember, there were 3 ways to solve for an equation for a line. Another way of doing it is having a point and the slope of a line, and then we can find the equation of the line. So the equation of the line passing through a point x1, y with the slope of m is given by y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. Now I want to be very clear. Y, the first y, is generic. The y1 comes from the point that we're given. The first x is just the generic x. It's going to stay x. The x1 comes from the point that we're given. So now let's work through an example. Pardon me, my voice is a little scratchy, so find the equation of the line with the slope of negative 2 that contains the point negative 4, 3. So we're going to use our y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1 to solve this problem. So let's use x1, y1 will be negative 4, 3, and the slope will be negative 2. So we will use it in our equation y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Plug in the points, y minus 3, and you might be asking yourself, why is it negative 3? It is not. It's minus 3 from the formula, times negative 2, which is our slope, times the quantity x minus x1, which happens to be negative 4. So y minus 3 equals negative 2 times x plus 4. Negative, negative makes the plus 4. Distribute your negative 2. Y minus 3 equals negative 2x. Negative 2 times a positive 4 is negative 8. Add 3 to both sides. Your end result, your equation of your line with the slope of negative 2 that contains the point negative 4, 3 is y equals negative 2x minus 5. And now I'm going to go over and I'm going to plug in my point of -4, 3. And what I can do is my slope is -2, so I move down 2 and over 1 and I get my next point. And if I wanted another point, I could do that again. 1 to the right, down 2. 1 to the right, down 2. And I can keep finding points on this line. And now the third option of solving for the equation of the line is where it passes through 2 points. Well, here's the thing about that. This is a 2-step problem. The first step, I need to find the slope. And how am I going to find the slope? Well, I have 2 points, so I'm going to use y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1, and that will equal my slope. The second part of this equation, once I find my slope, I'm going to use my point slope equation to solve for the point slope formula to solve for the equation of the line. So remember, the point slope formula is y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. So let's find the slope. Slope is going to equal y2, which is a -1, minus y1, which is 3, all over x2, 3, minus x1, which is -3. -1 minus 3 is -4. 3 minus a -3, which is really 3 plus 3, which is 6. But I can reduce this down to -2/3. So that's my slope. Now I have my slope, and I have a point. I can solve for the equation. So now I'm on to step 2. I'm going to use that point. Doesn't matter which point you use. You're given 2. You can choose one or the other. So I'm going to use 3, -1. So y minus y1, which is -1, equals whatever our slope is, -2/3, times x minus x1, which is 3. Y minus -1 is y plus 1, equals, I'm going to distribute -2/3 x, a -2 times a -3 is +6, divided by 3 is going to be a +2. I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. Y equals -2/3 plus 1. That's my equation of my line. So now let's use it to graph our line. So I do have 2 points, and I'm just going to put them down here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That's my first point. And 3, -1 is right there. So my line, let's see, my line should be a negative slope, so it should go down the other way. So I think I plotted something wrong, or my math was wrong. So hold on just a second. Aha, I found my error. So what I did was I accidentally plotted -3, -3. I should have plotted -3, 3, and then I connect the dots. So as you see, yes indeed, I have a negative slope. I'm going downwards. So that's it for this video. So until next time, be seeing you.